Guys, today we're doing Module 11, Lesson 5. We are on page 283, and today we're going to use common multiples to write two fractions. So they have a common denominator or a common numerator. So let's go back and review common multiple and common denominator. So a common multiple is a number that is a multiple of two or more numbers. And a common denominator is a common multiple of the denominators of two or more fractions. So let's review. So the top number is the numerator. So the numerator is on top, and the denominator is on the bottom. Oh, that's an ugly D. Let's try again. So I always remember, I live in a two-story house, and my den, D-E-N, is downstairs. So the den is downstairs, the numerator is upstairs. All right, so let's look at this. Sam needs 3/4 cups of bananas and 2/3 cups of strawberries for a recipe. So 3/4 bananas, 2/3 for strawberries. How can you write 3/4 and 2/3 as a pair of fractions with a common denominator? So remember, the denominator is the number on the bottom. Number on the bottom. So denominator is the number at the bottom. Use a common multiple, or a common multiple can be used as a common denominator. So let's write out our multiples of 4 and 3. The first 5 multiples of 4 and 3. So let's count 4, 8, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. All right, and let's do the next multiples of 3, the first 5. So 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Choose a common multiple. List more multiples if needed. Then use multiplication to determine the relationship between each denominator and the common multiple you chose. So let's choose 12 is the only one I see they have in common. So our common multiple is 12. So we're going to say 3/4 and 2/3 with a denominator of 12. So I'm going to have to choose 12, and I'm going to have to multiply 4 times 3 at the bottom, because this 4 times 3, and this one I have to multiply 3 times 4. So you multiply, I'm going to abbreviate multiply. You multiply 4 and 3 to get 12. And then you're going to multiply 3 and 4 to get 12. Then multiply 3 and 4 to get 12. All right, so let's set this up. So we start with 3/4, and in order, so I'm going to write 12 right here. 3/4. This is going to be 12, and we need to force this to be 12. So I have to decide 4 times what? 4 times what equals 12? Well, 4 times 3. So I have to put a 3 on the bottom, put a 3 on the top, because we have to multiply by the same number on the top and the bottom to make it equivalent. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9. So 3/4 is equivalent to 9/12. All right, we want the same denominator in 2/3. So 2/3 times what equals 12? 2/3 times 4, because 4 times 3 is 12. So let's multiply the top number by 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So we have a set of common denominators, 9/12 and 8/12 for 3/4 and 2/3. They are not equivalent, they're just have common denominators. So at the bottom of the page, I want you to, oh, that was it. On the next page, sorry, we're not finished. On the next page, Allison needs 5/8 cups of almonds and 4/5 cups of walnuts. So 5/8 cups of almonds, 4/5 cups of walnuts for a recipe. How can she write 5/8 and 4/5 as a pair of fractions with a common numerator? So a common multiple can be used as a common numerator. List multiples of each numerator until you find a common multiple. So the numerator is the top number. So our top numbers are 5 and 4. So list each numerator and find common multiples. So multiples of 5, this one's easy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Use multiplication to determine the relationship between each numerator and the common multiple you chose. So the only one I see they have in common is 20. Okay, so we're going to have to make the top number is going to be forced to be 20. So when I say that, that means the top number, so this number right here has got to be 20 when we finish. So what do we multiply 5 and 4 by to get 20? So we're going to multiply 5 times 4 to get 20. And the other numerator was 4, so you multiply 4 times 5 to get 20. So at the bottom, we're going to fill in the blank. So 5 eighths. So we got to decide 5 times what number equals 20? 5 times 4. So 4 times 5 is 20. So the bottom number, whatever you do to the top, you got to do to the bottom. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 8 is 32. All right, so the next one, 4 times what equals 20? 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So put a 5 here. Whatever you do to the top, you've got to do to the bottom. So 5 times 5 is 25. These are a little bit harder trying to find common numerators because we're not used to seeing these bigger numbers. We're used to finding the denominator. So this is a little bit different. I want you to pause the video, do number 1, 2, and 3 at the bottom and start it back. So it says, write the pair of fractions as a pair of fractions with a common denominator or common numerator. So you get to pick. I like the denominator. I like to change the bottom number. It's easier for me. Sometimes the top numbers are lower and we can make them smaller. Like this one, 2 and 3, we might want to make it 6. So let's look, 1/3 and 2/5. Well, I'm going to do the denominator, so 3 and 5. If I think of multiples of 3, I get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Multiples of 5, 5, 10, and 15. So I want to make them have a denominator of 15. So I'm going to say 1/3 times what equals to something over 15. So 3 times 5 is 15, so multiply the top number. 1 times 5 is 5, so it's 5/15. All right, 2/5, you want to make it a 15. 2/5 equals what times what equals 15? 2/5 times what equals 15? 5 times 3, so 5 times 3 is 15, so you multiply the top number by 3. Whatever you do to one, you have to do to the other or it won't be equivalent. So 2 times 3 is 6. So our answers would be 5/15 and 6/15. All right, 3/4 and 5/8. Why don't we make both of them have a denominator 8? Because 8 is a multiple of 4. So let's change 3/4 times what equals a something over 8. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, so 3 times 2 is 6. And we don't have to change 5/8 because that would have to be saying multiply it by 1. So then we would have 6/8 and 5/8 would be our equivalent fractions. All right, 2/5 and 3/8. Remember I said since 5 and 8 are larger numbers, let's go for the ones with the smaller numbers. 2 and 3, we know that multiples of 2 and 3 are 6. So let's say 2/5 times what equals a something over 6. Oh, not the bottom. Not multiplying by that. All right, so 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3, so 3 over 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. So our answer is 6/15. All right, so now we have 3/8. But we want to make that 3 a 6, so we put a 6 over here. Oh, I keep doing that. Not that. So we want to say 3 times what is 6? Well, 3 times 2 equals 6. So we have to put a 2 on the bottom. 8 times 2 is 16. So 3/8 is equivalent to 6. 3/8 is equivalent to 6/16. 2/5 is equivalent to 6/15, and they have common numerators. Numerator is the number on top. That's it.